Welcome to our deep dive into the Cold War in America, a period of intense geopolitical tension between the United States and the Soviet Union from 1947 to 1991. From the ashes of World War II, two superpowers emerged, each with vastly different ideologies and a shared capacity for destruction. This is the story of how Americans lived in the shadow of the bomb and how those pivotal years continue to resonate today. The year is 1947. The world is reeling from World War II. In this climate, President Harry S. Truman addresses Congress, delivering a defining speech. The Truman Doctrine pledges American support to nations resisting communist aggression. It declares the U.S. will not stand by as the Soviet Union expands its influence. The war-ravaged economies of Europe were fertile ground for communist ideology. Recognizing this, the United States launched the Marshall Plan, an unprecedented act of economic generosity. By fostering economic stability, the United States aimed to inoculate Western Europe against communism. 1. Berlin becomes a flashpoint. The Soviets impose a blockade on all land access to West Berlin, cutting off supplies. The United States responds with the Berlin Airlift, delivering life-sustaining supplies to the city. The Berlin Airlift becomes a symbol of Western resolve and hope. June 25, 1950. The fragile peace shatters as North Korean troops cross the 38th parallel, igniting the Korean War. The United States commits troops to Korea, fighting alongside South Korean forces to repel the invasion. The Korean War solidifies the Cold War's global reach. As the Cold War intensified, fear and suspicion took hold in the United States. Senator Joseph McCarthy launched a campaign of accusations and innuendo that would define an era, McCarthyism. Careers were destroyed, lives were ruined, and American society was tested in the crucible of Cold War paranoia. October 1962. The world holds its breath as the United States and the Soviet Union stand on the brink of nuclear war. The discovery of Soviet missiles in Cuba triggers a tense standoff between President John F. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev. For 13 agonizing days, the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Through diplomacy and brinkmanship, catastrophe is averted, a chilling reminder of the fragility of peace in the nuclear age. In the sweltering jungles of Southeast Asia, the Cold War raged on. Vietnam became the battleground for a protracted and bloody conflict defining a generation. The fall of Saigon in 1975 marked a painful chapter in American history, a reminder of the human costs of Cold War ideology. While the Cold War cast a long shadow, it also spurred remarkable technological advancements. The space race captured imaginations globally, culminating in the Apollo 11 mission. On July 20, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon, a triumph of human ingenuity. By the 1970s, the world had grown weary of the Cold War. A new generation focused on peace began to challenge old assumptions. The 1972 Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty, SALT, marked a significant step towards arms control and easing Cold War tensions. The Soviet Union, bogged down in a costly war in Afghanistan, began to show signs of strain. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev emerged as a reformer, implementing glasnost and perestroika. However, the forces unleashed by these reforms proved too powerful to contain. On December 25, 1991, the Soviet flag flew for the last time over the Kremlin, marking the end of the Soviet Union and the Cold War. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Cold War in America. From the Truman Doctrine to the Berlin Wall's fall, the Cold War was a time of unprecedented challenges and triumphs. The legacies of the Cold War continue to shape international relations and remind us of the dangers of nuclear proliferation.